World War II, a period of history where humanity saw the most widespread and deadliest war in human history. From 1939 to 1945, the world was engulfed in a conflict that involved over 30 countries, with an estimated 70 to 85 million casualties. This was a time when the globe's largest powers, including the United States, the Soviet Union, Germany, and Japan, to name a few, were locked in a deadly struggle for dominance and survival. In this era of unprecedented conflict and turmoil, technology played a pivotal role. The need for advanced weaponry was at an all-time high. Tanks, aircraft, and warships were not just tools of warfare, but they were the very factors that could sway the tide of battle. The development and deployment of these technologies represented the desperate attempts of nations to outdo each other in a grim race for ultimate power. In the midst of this chaos, the Germans were developing a superweapon, the V3 cannon, with the hope of turning the tide of the war. Emerging from the desperate need for advanced weaponry, the V3 cannon, also known as Vergeltungswaffe 3, was born. This massive gun was a brainchild of the German war machine during the tumultuous days of World War II. Its unique design was based on a multi-charge principle, a concept that dates back to the 19th century but was brought to life with the urgency of war. The V3 cannon wasn't just any ordinary weapon. It was designed to increase projectile velocity using multiple propellant stages along the barrel. This provided a constant pressure and smoother acceleration, creating a weapon that could potentially bombard London from bunkers nestled in northern France. The concept was ambitious, the stakes were high, and the world had never seen anything quite like it. Yet, like many grand designs, the V3 cannon was not without its challenges. The testing phase was fraught with problems. Engineers and scientists had to grapple with design and production issues, and even though they were able to create multiple projectile designs by May of 1944, the promised performance levels remained elusive. The V3 cannon was a technological marvel in theory, but in practice, it was a different story. The gun was built, the aim was set, but the cannon never got to fire on London. The Allied forces had been keeping a watchful eye on the developments, and their bombing raids rendered the V3 cannon bunkers unusable before they could be completed. The V3 cannon was never able to reach its full potential, and the project was deemed a failure. The V3 cannon, a colossal failure, was a testament to the limits of wartime innovation. It was a reminder that ambition and invention, while powerful drivers of progress, are not always enough to overcome the realities of war and the constraints of technology. The V3 cannon may have been born out of desperation, but its demise was a hard-fought victory for those who stood in its path. The story of the V3 cannon does not end with its failure. Instead, it raises a tantalizing question. What if the V3 cannon had been successful? Imagine, if you will, a World War II where Germany had the ability to bombard London from the safety of bunkers in northern France. The course of the war might have been drastically different, with the Allies forced to contend with a weapon of unprecedented range and power. But the legacy of the V3 cannon doesn't stop at hypotheticals. Fast forward a few decades, and we find ourselves in Iraq, under the rule of Saddam Hussein. Drawing from the same technological principles that underpinned the V3, Hussein initiated Project Babylon to construct his own superguns. Though the project was ultimately halted, it serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring influence of the V3 cannon's design. While the V3 cannon remained a failure in its time, its technological principles lived on, reminding us of the enduring power of human ingenuity, even in the face of failure.